Welcome to the stream. Here we are. So, the title is literally what the title means. Let's get right the fuck into it. I have pinned a comment that is the bill in question that we're going to be talking about here. So, you see on my screen, let me zoom in. If you go into the news today, you look at the Florida anti-riot bill, here's what you are going to find. Everyone talking about that the Florida governor is being sued over a new bill that's a anti-riot bill. Okay. And now what I know about the Florida governor, I figured, oh, he's on some shit to stop anyone from protesting and probably overstep some bounds. So and that's really what you'll see if you look into these articles. So this anti-riot bill criticized by Democrats and civil rights groups as an unconstitutional thing for infringing on First Amendment rights to peacefully protest. Keep that in mind. Peacefully protest. If you look at the breadth of the particular piece of legislation, it is the strongest anti-rioting, pro-law enforcement piece of legislation in this country, and so everyone's trying to sue over it. Now, what I was trying to find, anytime I see a story like this, I'm not going to take the word of any mainstream media outlet. I want to find the actual bill. It took me a while. If you notice, I'm on Microsoft Bing because Google would not give me this actual bill no matter how badly I tried to find it, because I don't think they want me to read the actual bill. How about that? Wanting me to stay ignorant? Never. Never would they want me to stay ignorant. Anyway, so I found the bill, all 61 glorious pages of it, and that is linked to the top of the chat. It is pinned because I like to share actual information, not bullshit. So let's start by let's just set the stage here. If this bill is not anti-protest and is indeed only against violent and destructive rioting, and then your response as a liberal in the U.S. is that this bill is evil, therefore, by simple transitive properties, you are endorsing riots, violence, and destruction. Are you not? And insurrection in some cases. Oklahoma's capital was sieged not too long ago, not in as violent of a display as the U.S. Capitol, but it was still a thing. They came in and they started yelling at all of the House people and interrupted the session. So anyway, what's in here about protests? If I search protest, the word protest only appears once in this bill. And here is where it appears. Line 801. This section does not prohibit constitutionally protected activities such as peaceful protest. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to kind of throw out the first 5 news articles I read, since it's right there in literal black and white. So what are unlawful assemblies then? 3 or more people meet together to commit a breach of the peace or do any other unlawful act. Each of them commits, these are things that have been amended, a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree punishable as provided in other parts of here. Person, blah, blah, blah. All right, so they're saying unlawful assemblies are defined in the same way that they would be defined now. That you are breaching the peace. But what does breaching the peace mean? Intent is going to be an important word. So breaching the peace is defined many times throughout this article. Intentional burning of lands, intentionally causing bodily harm to another person, or committing battery. Intentionally or knowingly causing great bodily harm, permanent disability, permanent disfigurement, use of a deadly weapon, aggressive battery again. Intent to use force or threaten to use force, compel or induce, attempt to compel or induce, or another person to do or refrain from doing an act or to assume, abandon, or maintain a particular viewpoint against their will. Intent to destroy established statues and things that are not yours, memorials and statues, all that shit that they like to destroy. Basically, intent to do that because you don't own that shit. Intent to burglar, intent to incite a violent crime against another person. This would be a tweet law. It is unlawful to electronically publish another person's personal information with the intent to threaten them, essentially harass them, or bring reasonable fear of bodily harm. Let's see. A person commits a riot if they participate in a violent public disturbance involving an assembly of 3 or more persons acting with a common intent to assist each other in violent or disorderly conduct resulting in injury to another person, damage to property, imminent danger of injury to another person, or damage to property. I think you're getting the idea that this does not mince any words as to what a riot is. It is not talking about any sort of protest. It is 61 pages of clearly defining that a riot means you're fucking rioting. That is what this legislation is. Now, with that context in mind, let's go back to what Democrats say about the anti-riot bill in Florida. What is the left saying about this very reasonable strict punishment for riots? Well, first of all, he's getting sued. The governor is sued over the anti-riot law. On what grounds? Well, it's a nonprofit organization doing it, and the breathtaking scope of the bill includes granting civil immunity to people who drive into peaceful demonstrators. No, it does not. Let's talk about this. That was in there, but that was removed. Where is it? I think it's under drive, maybe. It might be completely gone. Car. Let's see. It might be under vehicle. Vehicle. Okay. Endangering the safe movement of vehicles. Commercial vehicle. Nope. They might have completely removed it. There was at one point a statement saying that if you were trying to protect yourselves, you were granted legal immunity if you ran through protesters and rioters. But that was removed. I thought it would just be X'd out, like this is. But I think it might have been, it's completely nixed. So, okay, so this is already a lawsuit based on nothing because that's not even in the final bill. So that's cool. So our first article we find is worthless. And now let's see what else is everyone else saying. I want to know what CNN has to say about this. They'll have a fun spin. Signs controversial new law. I love how this is a controversial pro-law enforcement bill. How is this a controversial pro-law enforcement bill? Because it says you're not allowed to fucking riot. So, let's see. What's the link to the controversial bill? Here we go. Florida passes bill to crack down on riots, but critics warn it threatens peaceful protest. Where? This is them showing their hand. Because this is clearly not addressing anything peaceful protest, and it is very clear at what it is fighting. That is literally... It is a black and fucking white, 61 pages defining a riot the same way you and I would define a riot. Let's talk about peaceful. Peaceful is fine. It's literally written here. We're not talking about a peaceful protest. We're talking about damaging shit and hurting people. So all of the left is freaking out. And they're saying this is targeting civil rights movements. This is targeting Black Lives Matter. Well, guess what? It is fucking targeting Black Lives Matter. Because Black Lives Matter as an idea is something that's important. And there's definitely racial discrimination and racial inequality in the country. But Black Lives Matter, the movement, is a fucking menace. It breaches very close to territory of a terrorist organization. All of the destruction that they do. It is horrible. So yes, this is a response to stopping Black Lives Matter. Congratulations, you brilliant scientists figured it out because they're causing millions of dollars of damage and killing people. Like, fuck's sake, yes. Why is that? How are you just figuring this out? So apparently now though, like, if ever there was an argument for me to become a conservative, it's just so I could be on a side that's fighting against the idiocy of the left. Because you are literally putting out there that If you make a bill with strict and clear rules about rioting and what the punishment is for rioting, then that is a threat to movements like Black Lives Matter, which means they're openly admitting that movements like Black Lives Matter love to fucking riot, and they are okay with that. Bro. That's all. I was going to make this an actual video, but I decided to go live because I didn't want to edit it. I am going to also leave pinned the full 61 pages of the replay of this stream so you can read. Maybe there's something in it that I didn't find in my skimming through it, but there is nothing in here that would threaten someone who is protesting the right way. Nothing in here that I see, if I was trying to organize a protest, would be illegal according to this bill. Because when I protest, I think of holding signs and holding firm and standing there and chanting and doing nothing else. And maybe writing a stern letter or two, or actually, just voting for different representatives instead of resorting to protesting everything. This bill has nothing against any of that. So, there you go. Until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme for ice cream. Read this thing for yourself, and if you see anyone calling this bill a travesty, you already know that's not someone you should fuck with, because they are openly supporting violence and disorder to push their agendas at this point. It's fucking insane. See you guys later.